Oh, I like this angle a bit better. Okay, so guys, there is a video on my Odyssey channel that I have just uploaded. So make sure that you are subscribed over there as well, because there are certain videos that I'm just not going to be able to make on here because YouTube doesn't like us talking about certain things. So I'll put the link in the description box below. I'm talking about the Messiah complex. I think the subject of the video is going to be, are you here to save anyone? Are we here to save people? So yeah, when you're on an awakening journey, and you know, it's really common for people to have this kind of, develop this kind of like savior complex, or you know, messiah complex. And it's a really broad topic. I can talk about it in so many different ways, but I'm talking about it within a specific context for which I cannot talk about it on here. And when you watch the video, you'll see why. So just jump and watch that one. So today I want to talk about your picker, and is your picker off? Okay, so a lot of the time we get into relationships, we choose people based on where we're at. Okay, the way that, you know, we choose people when we're attracted to somebody is because they're mirroring something about ourselves. They're mirroring, you know, something that we love about ourselves, either something that we were, either something that we used to be, something that we want to be in the future. Like, they have these qualities that we want to integrate within ourselves. Now, if you are a person that has trauma in your body that you haven't cleared, your picker will be off, and you will continually keep choosing people that are not suitable. Okay, well, they'll be suitable in that they will show you through the external reflection of how they show up and their behavior and how they treat you, the wound within you that needs to be cleared and healed from your system. So they'll be suitable in that way, but they won't be a healthy partner because you're not healthy, because you haven't cleared the trauma from your body. You keep on choosing people that don't honor you because you're not honoring yourself, or people who abandon you because you keep self-abandoning, people who cheat on you because you feel like you're second best, or you feel like other people are a threat to you, or you feel like maybe you have a belief that men always cheat, that they can't be honest, that they can't be faithful, that they're not naturally monogamous. All of these kinds of belief systems are programs. Okay, humans have been programmed for a really, really long time, and one of the most effective tools of programming to sow the seeds of division, to destroy and enslave society, enslave human beings, is to destroy the hierogamic template, which is the union of the masculine and feminine energies within the body, and that destroys our relationship templates. So, you know, that there's all kinds of techniques that the enemy uses to do this, and you know, it's targeting and hijacking, traumatizing people when they're children, and then targeting them with these programs, hijacking their consciousness, particularly their sexuality. So encouraging girls to be hypersexual, to hypersexualize themselves, to treat themselves as sex objects, to not treat themselves as the sacred vessels of feminine divinity that we actually are, and allow imposter masculines access to our sacred divinity, and our sexuality, which is fucking divine, but we've been lied to about how divine it is. Targeting of the masculine includes things like pornography, the sex industry, sex workers, and the whole like human trafficking industry targets the masculines on this planet, and siphons their sexual energy. You know, it pulls at their sexual energy. You know, and there's many reasons why it does this. Is because it makes it much easier for them to, you know, to believe that women are something to be conquered and dominated and not honored, because you know, when you dishonor the feminine, you dishonor the planet, you dishonor the feminine within yourself as a man, you dishonor you know, the women that you have as your beloved, and it takes away from your mission, because your sexual energy, as it flows upwards from your sexual centers and connects to the heart, That is the true divine, sacred sexual union that happens within the body. Then it also, the heart connects to your channels of giving and receiving. So that's when you're doing your mission on the planet. And then it connects to the crown and the pineal and all of that. So the targeting of masculines and feminines on this planet is really real. It's a really thing. It's a real thing that's happening. And if you're not aware of how you've been targeted and how you have been lied to and deceived and programmed into believing that this is how men are or this is how women are, and then you'll continue to choose people who are going to reflect those belief systems back to you, who are similarly hijacked and targeted and wounded. And this is where it becomes really difficult with a lot of my clients, because we are star seeds, and many of us are angelic star seeds as well. Where we come from is like so pure that we only know love. Like, we don't understand fear, we don't understand narcissism, we don't understand siphoning and consumption and things like that. We don't understand why somebody would say one thing when all they want from you is just whatever they can get, and don't have no intentions of actually like honoring you in the way that they say that they are. Many of the clients that I've worked with have had the experience of being with narcissistic hijacked individuals, where they'll say they'll love bomb you and tell you that they're so in love with you and you're the best thing ever, and they really know how to mimic your internal masculine energy, so it literally feels like you've come back home, that this person is your person. And then they'll just do all this crazy shit, like cheat on you, lie to you, abandon you, be inconsistent, and all of that stuff. And it's a trauma bond. It's a trauma bond because it's usually, they're mirroring your internal masculine template. They know how to do that, because usually it's not the person that's doing it. Usually the person has an entity that they're hosting, that is being hooked into one of their wounds, and these entities are fucking smart. Okay, they are plugged in. I've talked about the Archon. It's like a field, and they're non-local parasites. It's like, again, like the Wetiko. Okay, so they have access to like a hive mind. It's like an inorganic hive mind. They're extremely intelligent, but they don't have emotional capacity. They don't have empathy because they're not God sourced. But they know how to target you. So they know what your masculine templating is. Like, let's say, for example, your father is your first example of masculine energy. So how your father was with you and how your father made you feel as a little girl will be how you feel loved when you meet a man. So they can feel this templating within you, and they know how to behave in a way that makes you feel very bonded to them. And then once they've got you hooked in, then they will do whatever they want, and however, in whatever ways that they are hijacked. And it's all kinds of things, drug addiction, sex addiction, whatever the problem is. So your picker will be off if you haven't healed your father wound. And by healing your father wound, that actually helps to heal your God wound, because your parents are your first example of experiencing divinity. Your cosmic parents, mother, father, God, that hold you and protect you and have given you life. Your parents are like the earthly manifestations of. And if your parents are carrying miasma and from their bloodlines, then they will have passed on some of that ancestral trauma to you to clear. So until you've cleared it, you will continue to attract people that have the same kind of templating, or the same kind of they will mirror similar traumas as what your parents had to clear, because it's showing you what you need to clear so that you can come into alignment with yourself. You unify your energies, your masculine and your feminine energy within your light body, and bring yourself home to God. Because when you bring yourself home to God, then you become vertically sourced. You source your love from God, because that's what God is. God is love. It's a pure frequency, the emanation of unconditional love and truth in holy union. The masculine emanation is truth and the feminine emanation is love, but those two are actually unified. So, you know, love and truth together. So you don't get caught up in deception, and you choose a partner that's also healed and balanced and integrated as you become healed and balanced and integrated. Because when you clear those negative belief systems and there's programming that are the lies of the enemy that, you know, seeks to target you on this planet, you don't put up with the bullshit anymore. Like, you can love somebody, like you can see their soul and be like, this is a problem that my clients have. They can see the soul of the hijacked person that they're in love with, and that's what they're in love with. But then they don't understand why this person is doing all this other crazy shit. Like, how can they be, it's like they're two people, right? Because they're hosting fucking entities. So those entities need to be cleared from the person, but it's not your job to clear it. I mean, it can be done, but you need to heal yourself so that the other person then has to either level up and come into alignment with the new version of you that's now healed, or if they're too badly hijacked, then they will fall away. But when I work with clients, I don't tell them, because usually I can see when they're in this kind of thing with like a twin flame or some kind of like soulmate connection or like a narcissistic codependent thing, I'm not going to tell them. They know logically that this person's no good and they need to leave them, but they're too addicted, and so me telling them you need to leave this person is not going to help, because, you know, they're just not going to do it. They're just going to keep on looping until they're in so much pain that they can't take it anymore, and then maybe they'll let the person go. And then they'll attach to another person that carries a similar signature, but maybe not as bad, because as they heal. Okay, so you can actually save yourself fucking years of this kind of bullshit and looping and toxic relationship drama, and align with your highest timeline much more quickly if you actually do the work to clear the trauma from your body. So that's why I have my course Reclaim Your Crown, which is Kriya Yoga. It's one of the fastest ways to actually clear trauma from your body. They say that in 3 years, if you do Kriya Yoga for 8 hours a day for 3 years, I mean, obviously you're not going to do that, but this is how effective it is, right? If you did it for 8 hours a day, every day for 3 years, you would achieve what would otherwise be achieved in a million years of like normal diseaseless human evolution without doing Kriya Yoga. That's how effective it is. It's basically like, you know, yeah, it's just, look, I can't explain it all in this video because the video is going to get too long, but it's just, it clears so many imbalances from your body. It uses the breath, and it uses like tapping and all kinds of kriyas, basically dynamic movements that help detox, you know, the different chakras, energy centers in your body, you know, runs energy through your meridians, opens up your meridians so that the prana can flow through your body and you become much more aligned with God's source. So, you know, all of that, you know, lower stuff and targeting just doesn't become a match to you anymore. We also do this in my one-on-one sessions with clients. So, you know, basically whatever's happening with their partners, if their picker is off and their partner is doing bullshit, or they're also getting involved in toxicity and they're also doing bullshit, we kind of open up timelines and we go to where the original trauma is that both of them are acting out of. Usually they don't necessarily. So with relationship stuff, you can sometimes go back into like what happened in the beginning of the relationship, where there was some kind of betrayal or some kind of something that they did that made their partner feel unsafe, or vice versa, and we can kind of open that up, run energy through it, collapse it, heal it, whatever. But sometimes it's also deeper stuff, like stuff that happened to their parents, stuff that their parents went through that they're now trying to clear through their bodies, because a lot of us were sent into particular families that had a lot of ancestral trauma that we have to clear. It's part of our missions here. So yeah, like if you don't clear the trauma from your body, then your picker will be off, and you will choose people that will force you to clear the trauma from your body. So yeah, that's all I came on here to say. I hope that helps you. Do watch that video that I posted on Odyssey, and I will love you and leave you, soul fam. Peace out, one love. See you in the next video.